Welcome to Training Minutes. I'm Jim Crawford, Assistant Fire Chief of the Pittsburgh Bureau of Fire. In this episode, we're going to talk about lifting operation using high-pressure airbags for a downed firefighter. Some of the things we need to think about initially is the debris pile. We do not want to stand on top of the debris pile. Reason being is, in building construction, we use nails. If this happened to be on top of the victim, whether it be above his heart or over his face, and we stood on top of this debris pile, we could actually drive these nails into the victim. Next thing we need to think about is pre-connecting our airbags. It would be very difficult to bring the airbags into a smoke-filled environment and try to connect the hose line. So please connect them on the outside environment and then bring them in. We should always have a person in charge. The RIT officer should be the only one calling the shots. We should always shore the load. Just like vehicle rescue on the street, we need to shore the load in the buildings as well. So we need to make sure we bring in lots of cribbing. We also need to think about using alternative lifting devices. If the fire conditions are so severe that there's high heat in here that could potentially damage the airbag system, we need to be able to use hydraulic tools, possibly auto floor jacks or bottle jacks. Next, we need to think about our cribbing. We're going to be using box cribs and also wedges. Next, we need to think about the lifting operation. We need to think about the pivot points. When we lift with airbags, the opposite end is going to have an equal reaction. So we could potentially lift the load and drive it into the victim. Next, we need to think about using always two airbags. If we use one airbag with the lift, we could max the bag out and potentially have to stop the rescue operation to replace bags and then perform the lift. What we're going to do in this lift, we're going to actually crib on either end, shore the load up. We're going to place our airbags next to the victim so that when we do our lift, we shore as we lift. And then we get to the point where the load is off of the victim, we will be able to remove our airbags, giving us room to pull the victim free. Now I'm going to have the rescue team come into the room and demonstrate for you. At this point, the second rapid intervention team is going to do the extrication. As you can see, the patient has already been assessed and changed over by the first team. As you can see, carrying all your equipment in on a Stokes basket can be beneficial. It gets a lot of equipment in at one time, and you can use the Stokes basket for removal. The rescue team is going to start to shore the load. We need to make sure that the load will not shift on the patient first. The box crib is being built on the right side of the load. Make sure that when you're using wedges that you tap the wedges in to make sure they're tight against the load. If you notice, one person's in charge, the RIT officer. He's giving all of the commands. The airbag system has been pre-connected on the outside and brought in. The box crib is being built on the left side of the load to secure the debris. The airbags are being placed near the victim. While the rescue operation is going on, the RIT officer will need to check on the patient to make sure that he is still breathing. Once the load is stabilized, the airbag operation will begin.
Lift on the lower back. Lift on lower. Slow. Lift. Good.
Utilizing two color-coded hose lines on the airbags, you can actually control which bag you need to lift. In this case, we have a red and blue hose line. While the load is being lifted, we need to make sure we watch the victim. Once the victim is extricated from underneath the load, we need to make sure that we do not go underneath the load. We leave our equipment in place and leave the building. This is an example of using an alternative lifting device. In this case, we're using the manual hydraulic tool. The reason why you'd want to use this type of tool is because there would not be enough room for airbags. Remember these important lifting operation tips. I'm Jim Crawford. Thank you for watching Training Minutes.